immediately met in the backfield, runs through the contact, and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Shut this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon comes in. Welcome to 2025. Today. This one the other way. It's still going back. That's the drag. Walks up and down.
Edwards pulls off and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt three right on the money.
Takes his shot for Derby. Flag out. Doesn't matter. Touchdown.
What is up, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps? How are we doing today? Welcome into Taco Tuesday's edition of Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratenuto. Come on, gotta make sure we fix that. There we go. I am Michael Caratenuto. Oop, don't need that. At Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as the Twitter. You guys know it. You love it. You know it. You love it. You can check it out there at we said at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter. Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Again, don't be bashful. Check it on out. And also, guess what? You can go to the wonderful world of the IG as well, as the kids say. And you can go to IG and just go to, it's at michael.caratenuto.5. Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? Just had a dot between my first and last name and then a .5. There you are. There's a good old IG. Check it out there. And then YouTube, guys, go to YouTube. Again, forks up to the new subscribers that have joined the Pitchfork Lunch channel and family. Actually, not even channel, family, as I say. Friends of the program. Absolutely love it. Yes. Go to YouTube because you have missed a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean a plethora of content and con reviews, a plethora of phenomenal content and con reviews, to say the least. But go to YouTube. Again, all you have to do is, you know how to get to YouTube. But you see my name, Michael Caratenuto, but the page, if you search it, it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005. At MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. As like I said, you have missed a lot as season 1, season 2 to start for starters, and now we're well into season 3. You can binge watch season 1, keep watching season 3. Then when you finish season 1, start binge watching season 2, catch up to season 3. Because again, we said we have Brian Ward on, Sun-Devil defensive coordinator, on this past Friday, and he's been on quite a few times. So again, not going to ask the same stuff over and over. And obviously, teams are different, players change. But I have, he was on. We spoke to Keith Abney Jr. The Friday before. Sun-Devil defensive back, first team all Big 12, which, again, rightfully earned. Had a phenomenal, not just year, last 3 seasons at defensive back. So, nonetheless, yes, that is there. So Keith Abney was on. Ella Lamagora from the volleyball team was the most recent volleyball player that we had on. Yeah, we did play sound, obviously, from Coach Van Neal. Again, the Big 12 Coach of the Year. 3 years as head coach, Coach of the Year in the Pac-12 the last year, and then wins the Big 12 championships, the first 2 conference championships. Well, last year was the first conference championship ever. And I know I said this to you guys last year. Side note here, a little tangent. That that is surprising because, yes, the Pac-10 / Pac-12 was loaded with volleyball teams. Always. But, in the 80s, you think of it, okay, Stanford and then, UCLA and USC. And it's just and I'm not saying, Oregon was okay, but just the dominance of Stanford and, like I said, USC, UCLA, Cal, it's crazy to me that ASN, there's pretty old talented players. I'm not going to call them old, say old school, but they were pretty very, very, very talented players, my friends. So that was just crazy to me. First ever conference championship. Now it's back-to-back conference championship. So, hey, you do it once, get the first one. Hey, you want to do it again. So they go to the Sweet 16. But, yeah, we had Coach Van Neal. I saw Colby Neal on here, Jillian Neal as well, too. Faith Frame, Bailey Miller, obviously, who's graduating. And, again, got to reach out to her. Got to get her back on the show. But, yeah, it's just absolutely awesome. And so, but go to YouTube, and whether, again, like I said, coaches, players, voices, insiders, alum, an athletic director who I will be speaking with again very soon. So, yeah, it's all there on the YouTube channel, guys. So go watch live, but subscribe for those of you that can't hang out and watch live. All you got to do, again, like I said, go to YouTube, and it's at M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005, and subscribe. So football, still getting ready for the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas, as you guys know, as I take on ACC champs Duke. Yes, I did say ACC champs Duke, who's now 8-5. Anywho, but hey, hats off to them. Forcing overtime against Virginia, 5-way tie. They end up there. And Coach Dillingham says something very interesting today, which is true, but we'll hear that from him in a little bit. We're also going to hear, by the way, guys, from the experienced, knowledgeable elder statesman of the team, Anthonie Cooper, who's just had such a phenomenal career here. And I mean, a battle. It's been a battle. I mean, I will say phenomenal, but it has been a battle. And I mean, Anthonie Cooper, just injuries, COVID, and I did say injuries as in plural, and, just kept battling back and COVID. And yeah, so, 7 years in college, and that'll do that to you. But yeah, you gotta love, like I said, Anthonie Cooper. As from Arizona, to Millennium High School, got his degree in interdisciplinary studies and communication. Now he's working on a master's. So yeah, I mean, but I mean, and again, just has been through so much. I mean, this is a kid that came out. He was a top 3-star prospect, and 5 defensive tackle prospect in the nation by ESPN. He was a top 10 overall prospect in the state at ESPN, and ESPN 24/7 Sports rated him as 89 strong side defensive end prospect in the country, and the top 25 overall prospect in the state. When he was in high school, he led Millennium to 9 wins his senior season, their most since 2008. Had 114 tackles, 42 and a half tackles for loss, 15 sacks in 29 career games. And he was Arizona Football Coach Association 2018 all 5A first team. So yeah, I mean, did it there, and then yeah, he in 2019 he played in the Sun Bowl against Florida State. It's crazy. So yeah, we'll hear from him on that. But yeah, Anthonie Cooper, who, as you guys know, my Pitchfork Lunch peeps, had the first interception of the season for ASU, and we'll hear from him. Definitely, we'll hear from him about that. Again, with tip ball diving. I mean, you look like a defensive lineman. I mean, you're going to talk about a quick cat-like reflex. Look like a DB trying to dive in there and make that, or not try to dive in there. A DB diving in there, making the interception, and he did have the first one of the season. So, and we talked to Coach Ward about Anthonie Cooper as well. So we'll hear from him. But the women's hoops going for 13-0 tonight. The unranked 13-0 Sun Devils, Molly Miller's team, who should be ranked. Just going to say it, guys. You know me, Homer show or not. And I picked out a few schedules for you yesterday Monday. Sorry, yesterday was Monday. Duh. So I picked out a few schedules for you yesterday, read them to them, who they beat. Like I said, if this is some SEC team who had the same thing happen, 10 wins, new coach comes in, new players, their schedule, you can say, oh, they play the same schedule, they'd be in the top 20. They would be in the top 20. And this team plays defense. I mean, AP, do you watch? The whole point of the game is to win. And it's not a lifetime achievement award. It's year by year. So I will say how they have competed, how they have played, that would easily not just give them 1 point, that would easily put them in the top 25. You don't want to do it after 5? Okay. But at 10, probably at 10-0, then they hit 11-0. Really? Really? But that's okay, AP. Proof you don't watch and understand that, defense does matter in basketball, because they've pretty much dominated their counterparts defensively, holding teams to score a ton of points to not a lot of points. And yes, they did go to overtime at Oregon State. They beat them 55-53, as you guys all know. And now they take on Gonzaga. Like I said, as they go for 13-0 at 7 p.m. tonight, and it's on ESPN Plus. Let's see. What is – that's what I wanted to tell you, and I had it I have it here in the notes. That Gonzaga right now, they are 6-4 overall. Are the Bulldogs? Haven't played any conference games yet, but neither has anybody. But they are 6-4. They opened with their first 2 wins over North Dakota State and Toledo. And then they lost to Colorado State, but that was close, 70-66. Stanford, they had control of that game, did the Cardinal. They lost to Stanford 65-52. Then they lost to South Dakota State 72-63. Then turned around, beat Eastern Washington 79-60. Lost to Indiana, but I mean, again, very, very close, 76-72. And then they won their last 3. They beat Marquette 65-61. And then Molly Miller's old school, Grand Canyon, they beat, barely. They slipped by Grand Canyon by 4, 62-58. And then they took out UC Davis 83-72. So, it's a team about scoring averaging over 70 points a game, 72, 3 points a game, quick math-ish. But yeah, with their highest output obviously being in their last game at 83 points that they put up. They put up 79 against Eastern Washington. But yeah, 83 against UC Davis, put up 72. And then tonight, bam, the Sun Devils go into Spokane. They got a little time in Spokane yesterday. They practiced, obviously, getting their practicing, getting ready. But Molly Miller had the troops gathering up some Christmas stuff. Looks very, very fun and awesome for this team. So, but yeah, Gonzaga 6-4 their last year in the WCC. Pepperdine is up top. Well, they're 7-2. Santa Clara is 9-3. Santa Clara is 9-3. You know who beat Santa Clara? You guys know who beat Santa Clara? The Sun Devils, 82-77. Santa Clara has beaten – they beat Stanislaus State. Stanislaus State. Well, I have no clue where that is. 108-52. Then they lost to Stanford, 79-58. And then Texas A&M Corpus Christi, they beat 85-62. They beat Wyoming right before they played ASU, 76-45. And then ASU got up. Santa Clara charged back, but no. Who won that game? Who held them off? Oh, ASU did 82-77 NCAA, but Santa Clara can't be ranked either, I guess, because then they beat San Diego State, which all right, 72-47. They beat Fresno State. Then they beat Lindenwood. They lost to Vermont 63-51, who's been a tournament team on the women's side, by the way. And then they beat Hawaii, beat Simpson of California 125-43. So yeah. And then they just beat Grand Canyon 91-72. But yeah, so ASU, though, they beat them. One of the three losses. ASU, Stanford, and Vermont were the three that beat Santa Clara. So, yes, but they're 9-3 in the WCC. And then Pepperdine is 7-2. And then you got St. Mary's at 8-4. But, yes, Gonzaga. Anyway, I digress. And Oregon State and Washington State are playing their hoops in the WCC this year. So, anyway, but that's a story for another day. But yeah, I mean, so and then I look at these rankings and Princeton having a hell of a season. Yes, they're 25. They should be there. Nebraska is 23. They're 11-0. But yeah, I mean, I talked about it yesterday. It's just there's 3 12-0 teams in the top 25, and yet ASU's 12-0. And because what? So you people didn't pick them preseason to be ranked. They have a new coach, this and that. Anyway, I know I sound like the curmudgeon on the lawn, guys. I know, I get that. But my issue is with this. It's not a lifetime achievement award, right? So unlike SEC fans who always want to talk out of both sides of their mouth, saying, they should be ranked because, and they do this, Okay, new season and all the transfer portal stuff aside, like new team, new season. 13-0 or 12-0 is 12-0. They go 13-0, and then they come home and they open up conference play on Sunday at Colorado. Say they were to go 13-0 and then open up beat Colorado. If they're not in the top 25 in the AP, every single one of those people should lose their votes. Every single one. And no, it's not being ridiculous. It's about winning, and you're looking at it. So and they weren't even supposed to be a good team, and they're proving that they've come together. They're undefeated, whoever you put in front of them. And Santa Clara's only lost 3 games. USD, I mean, yeah, beating USD. And then, the other games, again, like I mentioned, but I mentioned those other team schedules yesterday, guys. Go with that. Anyway, men's hoops, they are getting set for action as Saturday, obviously the 19-point deficit, the comeback against Santa Clara. So both men and women have beaten Santa Clara, and the women are about to play Gonzaga. The men fell short here in Phoenix or in Tempe. But yeah, they both beat Santa Clara. The men tomorrow are in. Hello, I mentioned this old Pac-12 foe, Pauley Pavilion, as they take on the UCLA Bruins, who are ranked, I want to say 4th. Looked at so many things. Oh no, UCLA fell from the rankings. So they were 25. And they received 16 votes. ASU has received none. Oh, no, Arizona State, sorry. They've received 5. So that's cool. But, I love what Coach Rowley's doing with this team. The staff, obviously he got tossed out of the last game, which we know was tough. Sorry. He got ejected, but, hey, the team got him. They were down by as much as 19, and they outscored Santa Clara by 24, and now they went from Vegas to LA as UCLA just fell out. They were 20. It would have been nice if UCLA didn't fall out and was still at 25, because that would have beat them. But yeah, old Pac-12 flow goes smacking into a Big Ten team now, so we're all for that. Definitely all for that. But yeah, so hey, we're going to step aside real quick though. And like I said, Anthonie Cooper, right after the break. Yeah, preseason, I talked about, they called him Unk. 7 years. He's the first player to be at ASU for 7 years. Again, injuries. He played in 4 games as a freshman, but you can play 4 games, you just can't play more. So he kept his red shirt, and then injuries, and then COVID, and then like when you said an injury, and then COVID, and then another injury, and battling back, and then he got hurt at the beginning of last year, so another medical red shirt, and he got to do the 2025 season the way he wanted to. So don't go far. Take a quick break. Anthonie Cooper, Unk, as his teammates affectionately call him, and just been such a phenomenal Sun Devil, an Arizona guy. So we'll step aside and have Anthonie Cooper coming up here on Pitchfork Lunch. What? And we are back here on Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, formerly known as the Twitter, as you know. And we're going to get right to it. You can see the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. My IG, Michael.Caratino.5. And as you guys know, the good old YouTube, as you can hit it up there at MS Michael V's and Victory Season Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. But let's get to it, man. I want you guys to hear again, like I said, it's his 7th year, and there's about 25 players in college football this year that were 7-year players. So a little less than 25. Cooper's one of them, but again, just so glad he overcame everything. But let's hear from the man. Just battled, worked hard. I mean, Coach Ward talked about it last week, but anyway, here is defensive lineman Anthonie Cooper.
Playing in this game in 2019, did you imagine 2025 seeing yourself there?
No, I didn't think I was going to make it to another Sun Bowl, as a player at least. My first time ever seeing any college action was in this Sun Bowl against Florida State 2019. I got a cool little 3 reps in it, got me a little shoelace tackle. That was enough for me for that game. But yeah, cool experience.
Anthonie, what can you say about just the years you put in this program and everything you've gone through it and it reaching this point?
I just say that I'm a gritty dude. I've been hit with a lot of ups and downs. I don't know, things I've learned about myself is just I just push through things. I don't know, like I said, injuries, coaching changes, COVID. I've been through a lot, and just to be here standing in front of y'all, like still doing it and still trying, I'm just proud of myself, and I'm just show me I got a lot of determination in myself.
And then coming back from the injuries, like you, I mean, just keeping battling, and I mean, it shows a lot to your teammates. But the drive that you have inside, how do you feel that it's helped just uplift this team?
I mean, for a guy to look to your left and just see a guy he's been hit with a lot of different things and he's still pushing through it, he's still grinding with you. It just shows you that you could do that much more. I mean, my case, there's lots of cases out there that are worse than mine, but just if someone's dealing with something bad and he's still going, it just gives the guy next to him that much more push. So.
Hey, Coop, what's going to be your most fond memory of spending all this time in Tempe and around the program with different coaches and teammates and all that?
I'll just say being in the meeting room. I know there's no place like it. I'm gonna miss it. Just the jokes, just the family atmosphere that we got inside of it amongst everybody. I'm definitely gonna miss it. You won't get that nowhere else.
It's pretty nice for you to be able to leave on your own terms, I guess, so to speak.
Yeah. Like I said before the year started, I was thinking about throwing in the towel, but being able to come back and finish it the way I wanted to finish. It didn't look the way I wanted it to look, but just the fact that I was able to make it back out here and do it for that younger me that wanted to be here. So, yeah.
Are you the only one, or maybe one of a couple from the pre-Dillingham?
I want to say Blazin. Blazin was here with Coach Rod, which was with Coach Herm. Blazin, that's right. I really want to say it might be it. And then Trent's on staff. But
Yeah.
But that's I think it might just be me and Blaze. Yeah.
What did it mean to you? Because I was talking to Coach Ford the other day, but come all the way back, but to get the team's first interception of the year, what did that mean to you? How much smack talk from you and bragging rights was there in the locker room, especially to the DBs and linebackers?
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. I want to say I held on to that title for a couple of weeks too. Yeah, it was funny. Montana Warren coming up to me, and he's just jealous for I got one, he don't got one. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I've never had an interception like that before. To get it like that, it was pretty cool.
What's your relationship with Coach Reynolds, and how much has he driven you to just grow on the field?
Me and Coach Reynolds are close. Like I said before, Coach Reynolds been coaching longer than I've been alive, so he's got a lot of knowledge and a lot of things to give to other people. So when he speaks, I listen.
I mean, do you think if you're an out-of-state player, it would become impossible to go through the journey that you're going right now?
Not impossible. It's gonna definitely take a lot. I'm from Arizona. I love Arizona, so that's probably why I have no issue staying here all this time. But there's no place like Tempe. I don't know. Like, you transfer out of here, you're not gonna find a place like Tempe. But yeah.
What have you found that football has maybe taught you about setting you up for your future?
Like I said, grit, determination. Football is it's it doesn't reward you for all the things that you put in. You got to get out what you take out. Just like I said, the hardships, they teach you a lot throughout, or like things you're gonna go through life. So I don't know, just take the determination that I've built throughout being here and applying that to life. So.
And you mentioned obviously working with Coach Reynolds. What about like being in a Coach Ward defense and the conversations? Obviously, he knows what you've overcome, but just working with Coach Ward, what's that been like?
Oh, it's been really cool. He's another AZ guy too. I think that just makes this coaching staff great. We got a lot of guys from AZ, so like I don't know, you could tell that they really want it, and I think that means all the more. So you got guys pouring into places they actually lived and have like memories throughout. So I don't know. Coach Ward's been a blessing. It's a real simple defense. Just 111. You do your 111, the defense is going to work. So it's been great being around him. So.
This is a little more of an unserious question, but we all know that the defensive line group is always cracking jokes and everything. Who do you think is the funniest player on the line in your opinion?
The funniest one on the line? Watt always got something good to say. Bert is a quiet clown. Clay's always saying something too. I'll probably give it to those three. Jacob's Jacob. He's always gonna be saying something. But yeah, throughout the whole group, man. I've been with a lot of teams, a lot of different groups. This is definitely one of my favorite groups. So.
What have you gotten out of ASU academically?
I got a degree in interdisciplinary studies, nutrition and communications, and I'm working towards a master's right now.
What's been the you mentioned funny? Okay, so prank-wise, how many did you try to limit Clayton from playing too many pranks with snakes? Because asking a lot of people, like,
you don't bring that around me. You
don't
don't bring no snake around me.
So you didn't want to go looking at Camp T with him either?
Nope. Yeah, and he brought his little hook thing. I wasn't going on that trip with him. He's by himself on that one.
Awesome. See, Clayton, I try for you, man. I don't went with you. You didn't invite me, though. You want me to, I put in the work for you. No, I'm just kidding. But Anthonie Cooper right there, guys, you got to love that, man. What just a phenomenal young man. Like I said, talking about his high school, coming out of Millennium and just rocking. And then, you come in, you get to play 4 games as a freshman, and then you get banged up. Yeah, I mean, 2019, he's a freshman. He played in the Sun Bowl. He was saying that he recorded a tackle in his first career action during the Sun Bowl victory over Florida State. He said he got a shoelace tackle, but no, I mean, and then and then, I mean, in 2020 or more playing time, he appeared in all 4 games. Oh, yeah, 2020 was a COVID year. So, yeah, they only played 4 games because there was a COVID break. And, yeah, that was messy. And then in 2021, as a sophomore, he played 262 snaps as a pass rusher, the most of the team, finished 28th with the 28th highest Pro Football Focus PFF overall defensive score out of all defensive linemen with at least 200 snaps played in the Pac-12, 84. So, and the 19th highest score on run defense out of those players. And then he had to have off-season surgery after 2023 because there was a ton of injuries, unfortunately for him, battled through multiple, I should say, injuries. And then he ended up missing all of 2024, but comes back and, he comes back. He's in the preseason, suffers a preseason injury that kept him out for the entire 2024 seasons. Like I said, becoming the first seventh-year player in ASU program history and one of fewer than 25 seventh-year players in the FBS for the 2025 season. But Anthonie Cooper, man, forks up to that guy. Again, just to work every day, coming in. You have one injury, and then, you come back, then you have another. And like you said, he could have hung it up. And he kind of mentioned that up at Camp T. We spoke at the beginning of the year. Speaking of Clayton and going looking for snakes at Camp T. But, yeah, man, just love everything about Anthonie Cooper. It doesn't – and he talks. It's not that he doesn't talk in that defensive line room either. But as for personalities, like you said, Watley, Clayton, Jacob's going to be Jacob, Prince definitely. But, yeah, no, it's so good to see him. He gets he played as a freshman in the Sun Bowl, and then as a seventh-year guy, he's going to go out playing in the Sun Bowl. So stoked for Coop, man. So very stoked for Anthonie Cooper. As again, they were calling him Unk up at Camp T. But hey, either way, that's just knowledge and experience, my friends. So yeah, very stoked. Got to catch up with him obviously today because, like I said, doesn't talk a lot, but not that he can't. But hey, it's I look forward to him. Hopefully, doing some beating up of the Duke offensive line in the Sun Bowl. So, but we are also. I promised you both. See, I got you guys. But we are going to hear from Coach Dillingham now today after practice as getting a little bit more to say. But yeah, I mean, practices aren't going as long, and you'll find out why. I think a lot of you know why, but all right. But yes, here he is. Let's hear from Coach Dillingham.
Pat Narduzzi, unbelievable person. I mean, we've had a family problem that happened earlier in the season, and I gave him one shout. I've never met the dude in my life, and he answered. He called 3 people. He made something happen, and my family member just got, into something that he helped us do that we probably would have never gotten into. So unbelievable person. I think there should be a shout out when good people do good things. So shout out to Coach.
Kenny, when you look at the guys that are seniors, the guys that are injured, the guys that are in the transfer portal, the guys that are going into the draft, how do you manage all of this stuff now to get your team ready?
Yeah, I mean, the guys that are out here, we're just going to fly around, practice hard, and coach them. I think that's the dynamics. That's the nature of, this is such a new era of college football. It's changed in the last 36 to 24 months. It's changed. The last 24 to 12 months, it's changed. And the last 12 months, it's probably had its biggest jump in change. I really believe that, just in terms of how people operate and how it's going. So much change. Just got to be willing to adapt into these settings.
How the guys responding to all that?
I think they're flying around, having fun, practicing. You guys are out here. You guys see, it doesn't look like they're forced to be out here. It looks like they're flying around, getting better.
Are you glad to have the Michigan stuff kind of behind you now and move forward?
Well, I mean, it's a great. Like I said, this profession is absolutely wild. It's just a wild profession. It's a wild industry right now. It's just nuts.
What are the important things, to a head coach in promoting stability within your operation?
Yeah, I think one thing for stability is your assistant staffs, the support for them, the support for your players, right? And this nature of the arms race, right? You got to get the arms, right, to be competitive or even field a team, to retain a team. You have to, keep up with the Joneses when it comes like that. And then longevity. In this crazy era of college sports, longevity is security. Security is protection for if there's something bad that goes happen, then you got to be able to, bounce back another year later. This profession's so volatile that a security is a critical piece on top of those two things that are needed to actually build and continue to grow a program in the climate of chaos.
Have you started to look at Duke at all? Are you working on that now?
Yeah, we've looked at Duke. We've worked on it pretty good. This last day, we'll go in today. We'll kind of regather our thoughts even more. And they're a good football team. And you don't win one of the Power 4 conferences on accident. And this is a team that has hosted a championship trophy in one of the 4 Power 4 conferences. and it's a great challenge.
Kenny, you've talked about the college football being kind of a mess right now. You've also talked about some of the things with this team being what's right with college football, like Jeff Sims. Do you make a conscious effort to have your program be the what's right with college football?
No, I just think you treat people right. I think it's nobody's doing it right, nobody's doing it wrong, right? Everybody's just doing it different, right? Because there's so much chaos right now. And, it's kind of like the tech boom, right? Is so much money being poured into it from different places, right? It's a battle to grow the fastest, right? And some people, you could be here today and you could be at the bottom tomorrow overnight. And you've got to be able to protect yourself from that, not just for yourself, but for your staff, for your players. You've got to be able to protect that. Otherwise, just like the tech boom, something that a website you go to every day, right? You look at it the next day and it's like, what's that, like 401 code or whatever? You're like, that's not even a website anymore, right? It got bought out and closed by the bigger company, right? Because they don't want the competition. And that's kind of the world we're in a little bit right now, is the tech boom of college football. And you've just got to be ready to change and just hope you treat people right along the way.
Are you surprised to see the number of quarterbacks that are entering the portal each year?
Not at all. I mean, absolutely not at all. This is just a new normal, and it's uncomfortable for some people, but I keep saying it. This is a different industry, and it's a whole different model than it was 12 months ago, 24 months ago. It is constantly changing. And as the cost to enter increases, not just for a player, but to build a team, to build a program, to maintain a staff, you're gonna constantly see change because that's the world that we're in right now. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just, it is what it is. And you've got to be able to adapt to continue to raise your level and operate, or you're going to die. And it's unfortunate because you could go in one day with a plan and the next day, that plan sucks. It's 3X to run that plan. You better be ready to have your plan to how to become 3X what you just were 4 days ago. Because 4 people at other institutions chose to be all in. Well, now you got to be like, well, we got to change some things up if we want to be competitive. Or you got to find a way to kind of survive those moments if you're not competitive until the seas kind of settle. And that's the challenge right now, is you're in that balance of trying to succeed, while also if you fall behind, are you still going to be coaching, or are you not going to be coaching at that time because this industry is wild? You go from shithouse to castle overnight. And that's the other aspect of this whole industry that just makes it very interesting.
Coach, you're talking about
is right now to be competitive.
I don't want to get into numbers, but a crap ton.
Will you be seeking a quarterback in the portal?
100%.
What are the traits that you're kind of looking for on that?
Guys that are smart, guys that are tough, guys that take care of the football, and guys that are about the team. Smart, tough, the ball, the team.
Coach, you say adapting. How do you feel the young guys have just adapted and grown and getting extra snaps and getting ready for this bowl game?
Yeah, they've gotten a ton of reps, and you can't replace reps. It's one thing you can't replace. Now our practice has been shorter because of our amount of people we have out here, so they're still getting the same amount of reps they would get in a spring ball. It's just we don't have the layers of it, but they've been awesome to watch fly around.
What's your gauge on competition-wise? Younger freshmen or redshirt freshman quarterbacks competing with portal quarterbacks?
Best players don't play. Yeah, best players don't play. I think we've proven that with the quarterback position in the past. The best players don't play.
Coach, I don't know if you've seen all the uproar on Twitter from fans about the panic and idea of losing a coach like you in just 3 short years. What does that mean to you that the fan base is already just so all in?
To be honest, I don't go on social media a lot this time of year. I usually go on in the off seasons, or if I go on, it's specific because somebody sends me something, like, hey, this is a edit that somebody, is going pro. And I click on it, I quote tweet it, I turn that thing off. And then I repeat, right? So usually I get sent things, and that creates my activity on social media. It's not me in like the scroll world. So I really don't know what's happening in the scroll world. I'm more in the, get sent something, I'm like, oh, all right, I need to comment on that thing. Like, that's pretty cool, right? And sometimes I get fun things from my friends. I comment on that, right? But I'm not, it's like a layering of social media. It's like a filtration system of friends and family for social. So I couldn't tell you, but yeah, you can see the city's bought in. The city loves what this program is doing right now. sold out crowds, unbelievable environments, talked about all the time. I do listen to sports radio. I've been doing it since I was 8 in the city, maybe 7, right? And we used to drive by the Fish House. You guys remember on the 51? Right on the west side. I remember that's when I was 10 minutes from home. I remember with my dad, I'd be like, oh, we're 10 minutes from home now. It's called the Fish House right after a game, a baseball or a Suns game. And yeah, so that is pretty cool to see a city as excited as they are.
Well, I can tell you there is panic from someone that works on social media. Is there any part of you that wants to try to put that to bed for the fan base?
I think my job is to try to do whatever I can for the people that are with me, right? The people that are in the foxhole, the coaches that are in the foxhole with me, is I got to do whatever I can to fight for those people, for my family, for everything from that perspective. And kind of, you know, and I love it here. I've said that since day one. That's absolutely never changing. Absolutely never changing. So yeah, that piece is never changing.
With all of this constant rapid change you're talking about, what does Anthonie Cooper's longevity say about spanning the years?
Rare, absolutely rare. And it's pretty cool to see. I mean, he's out here practicing, and even on the days that we say the vets, the seniors don't have to practice, he's out here practicing. So it's pretty cool.
What's the limit on practices now?
There's really no limit because we're not in school. When school ends, there's really no limit. But you know, we're going to go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, just with our numbers. Originally on the schedule, I had 5 days. That's this.
You guys good? Anything else? We got Coach Ward, and also got Coop, who played in the Sun Bowl in 2019.
Coach Dillingham, sorry with the shout out, but again, that's why I asked him about, you know, the young guy, because yes, it is about depth, developing depth, and bowl practices do that. He said, you know, and again, the numbers are not the same, but you know, the young guys on the old line, you know, Coach Toeay working with them, and there's some, you know, that have played, that are mixed in, and I'll get more into that as we get closer. But I will say this, my friends, it is cool to see, you know, like you said, Jeff Sims out there, and you know, but Cam Dyer, man, this young man, again, battled back from injury. He got cleared. He was back up, and it'll be interesting. But yeah, I mean, and like Coach said, find a quarterback in the portal. Fetty's coming in. Dyer's going to be here. I mean, Sam Levitt in the portal. But again, I didn't even look. Yeah, so either way, coaches, like I said, it's move on, and every day it changes. That's what he was saying, you know. I mean, 12 months is different. It's different than it was 24 months ago, and then different than it was 12 months ago. And I mean, you just keep, like you said, having to push. And I thought the tech example was great. The tech boom was a great example that Coach was saying. So, but we are going to wrap with women's hoops, by the way, because again, 13-0 tonight at Gonzaga. They are going for trying to say undefeated at 13-0, but the best start, 10-0 was already the best start in program history, and now it just keeps expanding. The Molly Miller magic. Gotta love it. Magic tricks, Coach Van Neal with the card tricks and magic and mullet magic and tying into DFA and everything. See, it's just Sun Devils, forks up. Like the late, great Mike Leach said, got to get one of the he said the Harry Potter fans or nerd. He goes, fans, nerds to figure that one out. Like what kind of mystical powers does the Sun Devil have in a battle of, you know, fighting mascots in the Pac-12 back then at the time? If you haven't seen that, guys, you need to YouTube it. Mike Leach, again, obviously brilliant football mind, but has some always corkers in his interviews. But yes, the mystical, I say that to digress back to the point of the magic. Molly Miller, again, played in mullet, got a few victories there. But the mullet magic, the Molly Miller, again, energy, magic, everything. Yeah, she knows about win streaks, and the teams just, again, keep growing, and they're growing through it, and they're, you know, figuring things out. Yeah, there's things they got to clean up. I mean, the turnovers a little bit high, but Gabby Elliott averaging 15.3 points per game, leading the team. And who's right behind her? McKenna Brackens at 14.4. Alosia Carrera is at 9.8 points per game. And then Hale Marley, Washington is at 8.8. Last year, Poa is at 6.9. Amaya Williams at 5.1. Jaya Levette at 4.6. And then Martina Fantini averaging 2 points a game, as is Deborah Davenport. And then you have Michaela Moore at 1.3 and Tamaya Grace at 1.2. But, I mean, you look at this team, and when you look at the team stats too, guys, the crazy thing is when you look at they're averaging 70 points a game. Their opponents are averaging 54. So, obviously, plus 16 in the scoring margin there. Now, 30% from three. It's tough. They're 52 of 175, 30%. Their opponents are at 30% as well. So that's always one thing. I mean, they hit, absolutely buried them at USD. But yeah, I mean, it's just, but they're getting the ball to the rim. They work in the mid range. If the three's not there, so yeah, that's a little low. But you look at rebounding, 494 rebounds to their opponents, 406, but 41 rebounds a game, with their highest being 62, and their opponents averaging 34. So plus 7 in rebounding. You'll take it. I mean, obviously, we'll take a bigger number. I'm sure Coach Miller would, but again, one game, 62 rebounds. Insane. So 207 turnovers, their opponents 258, but 17.3 a game. That is way too high. And the Penn State one is the huge culprit in that, because both teams just, I guess, were allergic to the ball, treating it like hot potato. If you saw the game, and I think so. I don't know. Again, with the stats, but 17.3 a game on that for hoops. So, but either way, everything that they've done, when you guys look at it, which is, again, absolutely awesome, everything they've done is just improvement and growth and everything. So it's exciting. And the fact that people say, you learn more from a loss than a win. But if you can sit there and win and grow and figure out how to come together as a brand new team. I mean, if you think about it, very brand new team. But yeah, like I said, the field goal percentage too, like 45% from the field, which absolutely awesome. This early in the season. And then free throws, 66%. You know me, 75% and up as a team, you got to get there. So they're at 66% right now. I mean, their opponents are at 63% against them. So, but 66% right now. But Molly Miller, again, the job is absolutely phenomenal. And then but yeah, I mean, McKenna Brackens, not only is she averaging 14.4 points per game, but she leads the team in rebounds. She's got 95 on the season. It's averaging 8 points a game. So 14 and 8 for her. And Carrera is second with 73, averaging 6 rebounds a game. Elliott at 68, 5.7. Marley Washington's guard, crashing the board. She had a game or two where, scoring wasn't going her way, but she is crashing the board. She's playing defense, which Molly Miller, as coach says, you're not playing defense. You're not buying in. You're sitting next to her. But yeah, she has 50 rebounds, averaging 4 rebounds a game. And then Davenport at 39. Fantini has 35. So you look at it, but it's one of those things. I mean, 41 rebounds a game for this team. And yeah, it's awesome. Assist wise, last year Poa, her experience, but not just worrying about shooting. I mean, she's averaging 7 points a game, and She's got 46 assists. Which is 4.6 a game. So just about 5 assists a game. And I mean, but the team is coming together. I mean, players with experience, international players. It's awesome what Molly Miller has done. That's all I can say to you. It's absolutely phenomenal what Molly Miller has done. So on that note, they go for 13-0 tonight. The men tomorrow, UCLA, we'll talk about that as they're back at Pauley Pavilion, old Pac-12 foes. But yes, they will go for 13-0 tonight at 7 p.m. on ESPN Plus as they're up in Spokane taking on the Bulldogs of Gonzaga at the McCarthy Athletic Center. So yeah, and we'll have review men's tomorrow. We'll recap. Pardon me. Blah, blah, blah. Let's rewind that. We'll recap the women, seeing if they go 13-0, and if they do, coming and going from non-conference, starting conference play with no blemishes. You talk about boosted confidence, being in situations, seeing the blueprint of, yeah, we still had to work really hard to win, as they should be ranked. But that is that. So we'll see. But we'll recap the women's Gonzaga game. We will look at the men's UCLA, the men's matchup against UCLA, and see who else we might talk to tomorrow. Again, it's always fluid here on Pitchfork Lunch. So that is going to do it, though. Have a phenomenal rest of your Taco Tuesday. Again, make it a little spicy, maybe some jalapenos, a little sriracha, green chili sauce, whatever. Make it a little extra spicy, cilantro, who knows, whatever you like. But I like to make them a little spicy. So enjoy the rest of your Taco Tuesday. And yes, thank you to reigning back-to-back Big 12 volleyball champs, women, or back-to-back Big 12 champs women's volleyball. It is #OurState, school down south. That is for you to remember. It is #OurState. And go Devils. And as always, you guys know it. Forks up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
The 27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blake Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Pull, touchdown. Quick flag.
3rd down and 5. Levis switches to Scadaboo. Scadaboo breaks defenders. Here he goes again. Scadaboo is the running back, and he is immediately met. The backfield runs through the contact and then throws a shoulder for good measure.
Revenge on this team this year. That is true. High in the air. Right center field. Brandon Compton. Welcome to 2025.
Edwards pulls up and buries it. Richardson drives out for Robbie Ryan. Her 3 right on the money.